see. So, hey everybody. Hello, hello, hello. We'll we'll give everybody a couple moments to join. Glad y'all are here on time. Check y'all out. Hey, Dr. Dale. Everybody's popping in. So, my name is Ebony. A lot of you know me and have seen me in. I think I've done a couple lives on our Mama Soko so far, on our Mama Soko collective page. I am one of the curators, one of the founding curators for Mama Soko. Can y'all hear me okay? I don't know why I feel like I'm whispering for some reason. But I'm close to the phone, so I think it's okay. Yeah, I'm one of the founding curators for Mama Soko Collective. And for those of you who don't know, we are a group of mamas who are just excited about being able to put on events that I'm just looking at your note here where you're saying you're lagging. Okay, go ahead and come back in. Hopefully it's not me. Let me know if my internet's doing anything funky for the rest of y'all. So yeah, we put on events that help to educate and educate the Black and Brown community, parenting, natural parenting community, as well as promote products and services by Black and Brown company owners. And so today, I'm excited to just kind of spend 30 minutes with you all and share some information about or in celebration of Black Babywearing Week. Black Babywearing Week is all about us wearing our babies and putting out images and information and education and just furthering that cause because it's good for us and it's, as moms, and it's good for not just moms. It's good for parents because there's daddies who wear their babies too, and we should be promoting that even more. But just to say, like, this is our way this week of contributing to Black Babywearing Week and giving as much information as we can. So we're going to have today, I'm going to bring on with me two people. The first is going to be one of a company owner. She has a company that makes baby wraps. Different designed baby wraps. They're pretty cool. I'm going to bring on that owner. And then after that, I am going to bring on someone else who's going to demo one of those baby wraps and show you all how she wraps her little boy and kind of just show you how you can do it too. Before we jump into that, I would just like to let you all know that for more information on the Mama Soko Collective, you can visit our website. It's mamasokoco.com. We are still interested in more members to join the collective. As a member, you would be a business owner and we would promote and sell your products. We are actually going to be joining forces with the Moon Baby Show. and taking our pop-up shops with all of your awesome products on the road and going to conventions and meeting parents who are interested in learning about what's out there made for us and by us. And so as a member, you'd be able to join and we would be able to offer that service to you. In addition, if you're a service providing business like a doula or a midwife or anything that's service oriented, we have a place for you as well. You can join as a contributor. And as a contributor, you could, we do social media promotions for you. You could partner with us for branding and labeling, just getting the word out about your services. So just wanted to put that information out there before we jump into our next segment. So yeah, that's going to be our website, our IG page. You're already here. I'm so glad you all have joined us. So without further ado, I am going to bring on Cassandra. Pop her here. Let me grab her in. Cassandra, I'm clicking on your name now. I'm going to add you to my live. Let's see if it pops up. I don't know if you got the request. It disappeared for me. Oh, let me try it again. And it was so cool because you were telling me about like the whole geekdom, and it was my first time really hearing about like I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, was that at the gym?
Yes, I did.
I remember that.
Yes. So please share with everybody what that is about. Like, why are these designs so cool?
Well, a lot like, so many things in life, like with Babywearing. Once upon a time, I'm so shaky. Once upon a time, it wasn't cool to like Star Wars. That was, the jocks were the cool people, and people who watched Star Wars were at home in their mom's basement wearing glasses, and people made fun of them. And that's when the term geek and nerd, got used a lot in the first place. And those of us who had love for things like Doctor Who has been on the air for more than 50 years now, on and off the air, but around, longest running sci-fi. Sci-fi was not cool to people who wanted to say what's cool and what's not cool. And so geeks and nerds, and there's people who will say a geek and a nerd are not the same thing, or they are the same thing, or whatever else, like anything. But geeks and nerds were like, we are our own people. We are our own fam, just like when you got to find your people. And that's how, like, fandom, people say fandom is family, because you got to find people who have things in common with you, especially now on the internet. It's easier to find people. But of course, as with all things, fandom is not, there are gatekeepers, but fandom is not exclusionary. Now it's like whatever your passion is. If you geek out over Disney, Disney's mainstream. But if you are like, Disney, I'm Disney, have you seen my Disney purse, my whatever, and you want to call yourself a Disney geek, there's like a group of Disney geeks like that call themselves Disney geeks and Lego geeks and just whatever it is, or nerds or fans. And it's just part of broadening what all things can be cool. What I say what's cool for me. We don't let other people tell us what's cool anymore. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people, when they find geeky stuff, when they find something that's, whether it is Doctor Who and Star Wars or Harry Potter, no matter what it is, when they find people who speak that same language, or a baby carrier or a purse that speak that same language, it sort of takes them back to when you couldn't go to a mass market store to find those things, and you had to know people and ask people and get out your sewing machine and make it yourself, whatever. And that's why fandom never dies. So that's, I'll go on. I can't go on. I would go on. Please take it over.
It's cool though. I mean, it's cool because basically you, instead of just having a black carrier or just a one with flowers, like you can get one from DBG Baby that is specific to something that you really think is cool. So I like that.
And I will take credit. There are definitely some other great brands out there, some other Black-owned brands that are, really into to sharing the geeky love too. We do it our own way. Some people say our designs are too literal, and that's fine because Babywearing is just like it. You find the one that you love, and our designs are often very literal with the actual things. But some people like to wear polka dots and stripes together, and that's fine.
Right. Yeah. So how do people purchase a DBG baby wrap?
You can either go to dbgbaby.com, which we used to have a separate site, but now that will take you the same place as designedbygeeks.com, which is the company name that we've been operating under the longest, right up there. Either way, DBG Baby or designedbygeeks.com spelled out will take you to our website. And occasionally there are some partners who you can get something from. But for the most part, if you want one of our things, you order it from us. Or if you've got your favorite converter or your favorite seamstress or whatever, we sell the fabric unsewn, uncut, or whatever. So you can just order your yard of fabric from us, or your 3 yards, really. Yard, 3 yards, 1 yard, 3 feet, 1 yard. And do whatever you want to do with it. So dbgbaby.com and get what you need.
Cool. And so I know you mentioned something about sometimes people can do pre-sales.
Yes. So that is the one thing that we hear the most from people who have just discovered us is like, I heard you had a video game inspired. I heard you had a Super Mario or Legend of Zelda inspired wrap. And we do still have our Zelda inspired wrap, but our Super Mario inspired wrap went like hotcakes. So really we make everything to order when we have extra fabric for a huge release, but for the most part now we just order the fabric in a pre-order. We tell people in advance, here's the latest design, get what you want because there is not going to be any more afterwards. And we get a lot of messages from people who are like, do you have like 6 inches somewhere so I can make a necklace? And we usually just don't. So you got to join our we have a Facebook group that somebody started. We're hanging out in there. DBG Baby Geek Speak and Sneak Peeks. Took me like a year to get that down. And that's where we announce everything first. So if you want to, there are a lot of people in there who are just like, let me just see. I just want to window shop. If you want to be the first one to see the new stuff that we're doing, that's where you go.
And I will make sure that the link to the Facebook group is posted, even if it's after this live, so people can do that.
I will say we do have a very big announcement coming up in about a month with some hard to find fabrics that are going to go like hotcakes again. So, and a new design that we are getting feedback is going to be very big.
Okay, so it's waiting. Connecting. There you are.
Hi there.
Hi. So this is Cassandra, you all, and she is going to tell us about her company, DBG Baby. Tell us a little more.
Sure. I am one of the 2 owners. My friend Marissa, I'm in Atlanta. She's in Washington State. So it's hard to get us both on in the same place at once as well. But we've been in business together for about 7 years, doing all sorts of digital geekery, fandoms. This is one of my Doctor Who shirts. And after my youngest was born, we decided to branch out into wovens. So we have a whole bunch of things, all kinds of different geeky and occasionally not so geeky wraps and other products, too many products on our website. And it just all comes down to like fandom, whatever is your thing is your thing. And so we have Legos and sewing notions, like we all have different things that we're into, and we just want to make some stuff out there for people who are into the same things as us.
Neat. So I actually meant to share this with everybody. So at the end of this segment, we're actually going to be doing a giveaway for a DBG wrap. Like this is serious, y'all. So um, I'm going to be asking a question at the end of the presentation, after you see a demo of how it works and all that. And the first person who enters the answer into the comments is going to be able to choose from one of the ready to ship DBG wraps that are on her website. So y'all stay
One,
tuned.
and those are actually the ones right here. We cut everything to order. So if you need a 9, if you need a 10, if you need a 12, you can just order that on our website. We occasionally make extras when we're going to conventions and things, and those are the only ones that we happen to have around ready to ship. So that's what you get to choose from.
That's crazy. That's awesome. So, um, when you say rap, just for us, ones who are just like, huh? I started out with just like putting my baby in something that has snaps and clips. So what's the difference between, like, what makes a rap? What is that?
So forgive me because I don't, this is like my halftime being live. So I got this little phone I'm holding in my hand. So sorry about that. A wrap is that like mile long piece of fabric that you see those people looking like Cirque du Soleil doing all the beautiful things with the baby on their back. And I remember the first time I saw somebody do that, and I was just like that Cirque du Soleil. Like there needs to be a show of, and I mean there's YouTube. Just go to YouTube. It's amazing. My partner and I, my husband and I, were doing the buckle carriers and things when our oldest was born, and I didn't know about wrapping until I saw that person, and I was like, can you tell me what that is? That's when I learned, and it's amazing because it has been around since you could put something together to carry someone in, since the dawn of time. It's not something new that anyone invented or discovered. People have been figuring out a way to put their child on their side, hip, whatever, wherever they could get their things done. And that's what's so amazing. You can take this fabric and make it into one of those buckle carriers. And we do partner with a bunch of companies that do that. So there's all sorts of ways to use. We make purses and blankets and whatever you want out of this fabric, because my youngest is 4.5 now, and he doesn't really let me put him up, not even for a little YouTube or anything like that. So I've got a purse and a wallet and whatever else, just so that I can have my soft, fluffy things that I love with me. But that's what the wrap is. There's short ones, long ones, and you just find the way of tying it on that's comfortable for you. And I only ever had like 3 ways that were comfortable for me, unlike some people who can do every one known to man. But just like anything else with raising a family, you just figure out what works.
Right, right. There's no wrong or right. You just, if as long as you're not falling, time up.
That's right.
Wash the dishes, vacuum.
Exactly, especially now.
Yeah, just get them up. So, when I remember I met you a long time ago at a was it might have been a baby wearing event, and it was so cool because you were telling me about like the whole geekdom, and it was my first time really hearing about, like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh, was that at the gym?
Yes, and then
I remember that.
yes. So please share with everybody what that is about. Like, why are these designs so cool?
Well, a lot like, so many things in life, like with Babywearing. Once upon a time, oof, I'm so shaky. Once upon a time, it wasn't cool to like Star Wars. That was, the jocks were the cool people, and people who watched Star Wars were at home in their mom's basement wearing glasses, and people made fun of them. And that's when the term geek and nerd, got used a lot in the first place. And those of us who had love for things like Doctor Who has been on the air for more than 50 years now, on and off the air, but around, longest running sci-fi. Sci-fi was not cool to people who wanted to say what's cool and what's not cool. And so geeks and nerds, and there's people who will say a geek and a nerd are not the same thing, or they are the same thing, and whatever else, like anything. But geeks and nerds were like, we are our own people. We are our own fam, you know? Just like when you got to find your people. And that's how like fandom is family. Because you got to find people who have things in common with you, especially now on the internet. It's easier to find people. But of course, as with all things, fandom is not, there are gatekeepers, but fandom is not exclusionary. Now it's like whatever your passion is. If you geek out over Disney, Disney's mainstream. But if you are like Disney, I'm Disney, this is, have you seen my Disney purse, my whatever, and you want to call yourself a Disney geek, there's like a group of Disney geeks like that call themselves Disney geeks and Lego geeks and, you know, just whatever it is, or nerds or fans. And it's just part of broadening what all things can be cool. What, you know, I say what's cool for me. We don't let other people tell us what's cool anymore. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people, when they find geeky stuff, when they find something that's, whether it is Doctor Who and Star Wars or Harry Potter, no matter what it is, when they find people who speak that same language, or a baby carrier or a purse that speak that same language, it sort of takes them back to when you couldn't go to a mass market store to find those things, and you had to know people and ask people and get out your sewing machine and make it yourself, whatever. And that's why fandom never dies. So that's, I'll go on. I can't go on. I would go on. Please take it over.
It's cool though. I mean, it's cool because basically you, instead of just having a black carrier or a, just a one with flowers, like you can get from DBG Baby that is specific to something that you really think is cool. So I like that.
And I will take credit. There are definitely some other great brands out there, some other Black-owned brands that are, you know, really into to sharing the geeky love too. We do it our own way. Some people say our designs are too literal, and that's fine, because Babywearing is just like it. You find the one that you love, and our designs are often very literal with the actual things. But, you know, some people like to wear polka dots and stripes together, and that's fine, you know.
Right. Yeah. So how do people purchase a DBG Baby wrap?
You can either go to dbgbaby.com, which we used to have a separate site, but now that will take you the same place as designedbygeeks.com, which is the company name that we've been operating under the longest, right up there. Either way, DBG Baby or designedbygeeks.com spelled out will take you to our website. And occasionally there are some partners who you can get something from. But for the most part, if you want one of our things, you order it from us. Or if you've got your favorite converter or your favorite seamstress or whatever, we sell the fabric unsewn, uncut, or whatever. So you can just order your yard of fabric from us, or your 3 yards, really. Yard, 3 yards, 1 yard, 3 feet, 1 yard. And do whatever you want to do with it. So dbgbaby.com and get what you need.
Cool. And so I know you mentioned something about sometimes people can do pre-sales.
Yes. So that is the one thing that we hear the most from people who have just discovered us is like, I heard you had a video game inspired. I heard you had a Super Mario or Legend of Zelda inspired wrap. And we do still have our Zelda inspired wrap, but our Super Mario inspired wrap went like hotcakes. So really, we make everything to order when we have extra fabric for a huge release, but for the most part now we just order the fabric in a pre-order. We tell people in advance, here's the latest design, get what you want, because there is not going to be any more afterwards. And we get a just from people who are like, do you have like 6 inches somewhere so I can make a necklace? And we usually just don't. So you got to join our we have a Facebook group that somebody started. We're hanging out in there. DBG Baby Geek Speak and Sneak Peeks. Took me like a year to get that down. And that's where we announce everything first. So if you want to, there are a lot of people in there who are just like, let me just see. I just want to window shop. If you want to be the first one to see the new stuff that we're doing, that's where you go.
And I will make sure that the link to the Facebook group is posted, even if it's after this live, so people can do that.
I will say we do have a very big announcement coming up in about a month with some hard to find fabrics that are going to go like hotcakes again. So, and a new design that um, we are getting feedback is going to be very big. So if you want to have a chance to see it before it sells out or to pre-order, then I strongly encourage you to check out the group.
Join the group. Yeah. You heard it here first. Make sure you get in the group so that you do not miss out. Awesome. And so some of you here when we first started, we are doing a giveaway of a DBG wrap. After this session, we probably got maybe about 10 left. And I'm going to just throw a question into I'm going to ask the question, and the first person to answer it in the comments is going to win a DBG wrap.
One
You
of these
can choose
is
one.
on my
Yeah, you can choose any of those from her website. There's a whole section that says ready to ship, and you will be able to choose any design you want. So stay tuned. All right, so what we're going to do next, I'm going to bring on Dr. Catherine Hill. She is going to demo a DBG wrap and show you all how she wraps her toddler in it. So thank you so much, Cass, for telling us about it. Dr. Hill, if you want to go ahead and send um, a request, a live request, I'll talk to you later.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me see if I can find her here. And her IG is Dr. Seals. Do you see the button there where it says you can request to join the live? Oh, there it is. All right, let me pop you in. Here we go. All right, so Dr. Hill is joining us in a moment here.
Hi.
Hi.
Get everything in position. How are you all doing tonight?
Yes, perfect, perfect.
All righty. Let me make sure that you can see me well.
Yeah, right there. That's
Okay,
perfect.
cool. All
So,
right.
getting ready. Just remind you guys.
All right, so this is my son. I gave him a lollipop because, sometimes you got to do that. So it was so awesome to get a chance to try this wrap from Designed by Geeks. I've tried a lot of wraps in the 2 years nearly 2 years I've had my son. It's cool to try something new. I'm a fan of mermaids, so that's why he chose this one for me. So what I'm going to do now is a type of back carry.
Okay. Does it have a particular name or is just like back carry?
So this is going to be freshwater rapids.
Freshwater rapids.
Yeah, and I'll explain more once he's up because it's easier to talk afterwards.
All right, we're watching.
All right. All right, so you get the seat secure, and what I was doing initially was pinning the top rail, because that's what you do to keep your baby from falling. So this is a double hammock variation for those who are familiar with wrapping. And right now I'm just tightening things up. So one of the things I love with using wraps is that you can customize it for what you need. A lot of times I'll use this wrap when I'm taking walks with my son. I like the support. And with this wrap, one thing I like is that it's got a little bit of stretch. It's got a good balance between grip and glide, so it's actually really easy to wrap with. And it's kind of got a a medium weight to it. So not too, but also not so flimsy, which is good when you have a toddler. So now I can talk a little bit more. So one of the things I like with wrapping a toddler in this particular carry is it's got lots of passes. So it gives you extra support for when you have a heavier baby. And then if you saw, I know it went pretty quickly, you had some passes that went underneath the legs. So that helps so that if he gets wiggly, he doesn't come loose.
Yeah. That's good. Is that you mentioned something about the fact it's stretchy, but do you think
Yeah,
is it
I can
what
show
is
you.
hot in it?
This is 100% cotton, but it's not like stretchy like an elastic band. Well, so different wraps have different kind of feels to it. This has a little bit of stretch that you can notice when you're tightening. I don't know if you can see there, just a little bit, but not a lot. And I don't like a lot of stretch. And then what the glide is how easy it is to pull the passes. You saw when I was pulling a pass over another to kind of make different layers. It's actually really easy to do that in this wrap. But because it's got a little bit of grip, things stay in place, which again is great when you've got kind of a wiggly toddler.
So I got a question. Someone said double hammock. Can you explain that again?
Yeah, and I can try to show a little bit slower now, since he seems a little bit more settled for now. No, okay. So you see I've got one pass here already that I'm starting with. And then I'm now pulling across a second reinforcing path behind his back. So that's kind of where the name comes from. Hang on, baby boy.
So okay, so this is what we're calling the double hammock.
This is so double hammock is like a series of back carries where you have those two passes that go over the baby's back. And there's different ways of finishing it. This particular way of finishing it is called freshwater rapids. I'm not sure why it has that name.
Freshwater.
It's kind of what I do with my tails at the end. So a traditional double hammock, this pass that goes underneath. So all of the double hammocks will tend to have like this chest pass for additional support there. This particular one, let me tighten that a bit more. This particular one, what was I trying to say? Yeah, all of the double hammocks will have the chest pass. Typically, this part that goes under the chest pass is on the outside, but I particularly like the feel, like the way the baby, I guess, the way the weight of the baby is with these different passes. One of the things with the wrapping is you can actually tailor your carry to how your body's feeling. For instance, if you are going on a longer walk, like as I said, this is one that I use if I'm walking with my son. I've got chest support and I've got good shoulder support. And he's also kind of low, so it's not all on my shoulders. Some of the carries as well, you can do so that you have waist support as well. Let me show that. But I saw somebody asking earlier as well about the summertime. A lot of people who baby wear will have different wraps of different lengths. So I have some shorter ones that I'll use either for quick trips or if we're at the beach or something like that. There's also ones that are lighter weight that I may use when it's hotter outside. So a lot of people will have different kind of materials in their collection based on what they need. So right now I'm doing a quick carry with the waist pass to show you that one.
Okay. How long did it take you to like learn how to do this?
Not long. So I started with things like the ruck, which is a simpler one. Actually, Yeah, I'll see if I can show you that one as well in a little bit. But basically you start with the simpler carries. A lot of times you'll start with, let's see. Yeah, I'll just show you that one real quick because that's a good one for beginners. Oh, one thing I didn't say, I started at the middle marker. So there's different places you can start on the wrap. Middle marker is easiest. And if you saw the way I got my son on my back, it's called Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're first starting, you do that like over a bed or over a chair. Get comfortable that you're actually really secure.
And they'll hold, I guess, by themselves in a little bit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, but again, you saw how I was keeping the top part of it under my chin initially and wasn't really talking a lot. That's because that's how I keep the baby from falling at first before I get all the passes in place. So for a ruck, which is the simplest one, you have this pass over the baby's back. You've got material under his seat, and then you tighten the two different tails. It goes over his leg and over the material that's over his leg. And then I'll do the same on this side. It's going over that material there.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's coming underneath both legs. So again, it helps so that if he kicks his legs, he's not going to go anywhere. So that's, if people are learning back carries, that's usually the first one people learn because it's a lot less involved. The one I showed you was mainly because we're trying to show off these gorgeous wraps.
Yeah.
And I usually would do a ruck with a shorter wrap than this. But if I was out and was doing that carry with this one, which is a size 7, it's a longer wrap, do what I'm doing now, which is just kind of tucking the tails in my kind of shoulder straps so that the tails are out of the way.
I like how you twisted in the middle. It made it so, it's like just added instant design.
Yeah, so there's actually ways to make your carries really fancy. And again, that's was part of one of my goals with demoing her wrap, is not just showing how you can wrap your baby, but actually kind of showing off some of the beauty of this wrap. So the one cool thing with this one, you've got contrasting sides, mm-hmm. and there's certain carries that you can do where you can show off the contrasting sides.
And I'm not sure if everybody heard you, but I heard where you said one of the reasons why she sent you this one in particular is because you are a fan of mermaids.
Yes.
The mermaid skin.
Yep. So I can make this into kind of a little fancy finish, even though it started off with a simple ruck to show off the different sides of her wrap. One good thing with the ruck carry is the baby's nice and high. You see where my son is? So he can see everything that I'm looking at. He's got the bird's eye view, which he enjoys, because as we're walking and exploring, right now he's seeing one of the dogs to go by in the neighborhood, but he can see everything. Whereas if it's sleepy time, I may do one of the carries that has him kind of a little bit lower so that he has a little bit more head and neck support. And then if he falls asleep, he's kind of resting against me. But the higher carries are good for when it's action and adventure time.
Nice. Do you ever put him on the front?
Oh yeah, and I can show you. He actually, this time of day, that's typically where he would be. So I'll show you that real quick. So one, all done? Okay. So the front carry is great for nursing, and we're still toddler nursing in this household. Yeah. So what he was doing actually before I put him up and gave him the lollipop was he was nursing. So anytime you're taking the baby down, you always want to have a hand on the baby, because safety is the biggest thing. And when you're teaching people about baby wearing with any technique, the safety part is the most important. Like the flare and the fancy stuff can always come later. Mm-hmm. So one of the basic front carries that people learn is the front wrap cross carry. So again, middle markers in the middle, front of my chest. I make a little pocket for my baby. Hey, sweet boy. One more time. One more time. One more time. Thank you, baby. You can get some milk. You get some milk. All right. And make a seat. That's another important thing with most aspects of baby wearing is learning to make your seat, tighten up that tuck rail, because when they lean, you want them to be supported. He's demonstrating some good leaning. All right, and then I just tighten up my tail, so that's what I'm doing here. Yeah, yeah. All right, he's still kind of leaning, baby boy. Then I would just bring it around to the back. So one of the things I like with and tie it off. So one of the things I like with the longer wraps is, again, you have that versatility in terms of type of carries. I can pretty much do anything I want. With the longer ones, where it's the shorter ones, sometimes I'm a bit limited with what type of carry I do. And he's going to demonstrate nursing in a wrap. Because that's what you do when you're on the front with mama. Yeah, baby, you're okay. You can have your milkies.
It's so funny because the other moms are in the comments, like their kids are like, "Oh, she said milk. It's milk time."
Yeah. So this time of day, usually he's in the front once we're done with our walk, because, it's time for the milkies.
Oh.
There you go. Now I can't see the questions from Ram, but are there other questions that people have?
Not really. They're just like kind of just blown away at
how. Oh, you were asking how long then. So my son, when he was baby, he always wanted to be worn, which is what motivated me to learn baby wearing. We started with the ring sling, and then I own a structure carrier, but I didn't use it a lot. I mainly used it for traveling. But once I got comfortable with the wrap, that's pretty much what I use because, again, of the versatility. It's quick, and I can tailor it to whatever it is I want or need at the time. So, and sometimes when we're walking, he starts in the back. I flip around to the front when he's sleepy, and then we finish up that way. Yeah.
Well, I actually have seen people are in the comments like, I've questions and so this is what I want to do.
Sure.
Because I want to make sure people get a chance to enter the giveaway.
Okay.
I'm going to throw the question out there and let people go ahead and start getting the answer in.
Sure.
The question is, tell me the name of the first wrap that Dr. Hale demonstrated.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The first carry?
Yes, the first carry. So whoever enters the name of the first carry that you did in the comments, the first person is going to get to choose their own DBG wrap to be shipped to them. So I just want to throw that out there because I didn't want people to feel like they were out of time and have to leave. But and then you don't if you don't get to ask your questions here, she is Dr. Seals on Instagram.
Yeah.
So you can always find her there. So people are throwing into their comments, but it's different than the answer that I was thinking.
Yeah, they're close, but it's a very specific name.
Yep, it was very specific. So y'all might want to come try again.
So while you all are guessing, one thing too is, somebody is very close. But yeah, one thing with these wraps too is that they actually get soft quickly. Some wraps, when you buy them, it takes a long time to soften them up, but I was really impressed. She sent this wrap to us. It came this weekend. I washed it and then on and off trying to break it in, but it was soft. It's already soft. So it's already really comfy. Ooh, it's already really, really comfy, and it does have some good sleepy dust. He's already fallen asleep in it, so.
Oh. So do you see the answer?
I see people who are very close. They're
Right.
so close.
It's like that third word. I think they're.
I know. Oh, Dula Ray's giving a little bit of a hint. Oh, somebody's got it.
Is that Ashness?
Yeah, she's got it.
Oh, you got it.
Woohoo!
Freshwater Rapids. The selfie you came close. You're like second, but Ashley's got it right before you. And the double hammock was the style of any
Like,
rap.
yeah, it's a big category that
Yeah.
and it's somebody said she's changing diapers.
Yeah. So just in case anybody needs to pop off the live, I mean, I'm happy to stay here and hang out with y'all, but just in case I wanted to get that out of the way, you would still have an opportunity to win. Ashanez, we will be reaching out to you. Tell you how to order your wrap. There was
somebody was asking about when I first put my son on my back. I'm trying to think. Let's see, because he's nearly 2 now. For me, I think he was probably closer to like 9 months probably before we did it. But I don't remember exactly when. I will say that it kind of depends on your experience. There's some people who have worn and wrapped their like older siblings, and they start back wrapping their babies from. But if you're new, you definitely want to master the first set of ones, like the front ones. And then, like for me, I waited till he had, a little bit better, like good head control and kind of able to sit up before I started trying to back wrap because he was my first kid that I was wrapping. Oh, I'm from Bermuda originally. Someone was asking that. Hence the love of all things water.
Oh. So someone said a good wrap for almost 6-year-old.
Yeah, so I do have people in some of the groups that I'm in who do wrap older kids. It's typically not longer. So longer wraps are great because then you can do multiple passes for more support. Some people like blends. For instance, adding hemp to the cotton adds a bit more strength. Some people will do blends that have wool in them that add a bit more strength without necessarily making the wrap really thick. Yeah, 1 minute, baby. Yeah, so there's part of it's the thickness, but I think having okay, baby, we're going. Having a wrap that's longer to give you more support, that makes a big difference. Okay, sweet boy, I'm coming. It doesn't hurt my shoulders. And again, as I mentioned, there's different ways to do the carry so that the weight kind of lands in a different spot. So if you're wrapping a bigger kid, you're definitely doing a chest pass or a shoulder, a waist pass, or a combination of them. Especially if you're going to wrap for a longer period of time. But most times, if people are wrapping bigger kids, it's like snuggles before bedtime, or if they're having a rough day or something like that. So,
right. Yeah, like all and they're just tired of walking. So it's like just you give them a piggy ride, and it helps your arms.
Definitely. I always have some type of a wrap with me when we're I always have some type of a wrap with me when we're walking. And the selfie was saying her baby girl's 6 months. So yeah, definitely master the front carry. And for 6 months, that does a lot for you anyway. And then as the kid gets older, you can always go to the hip carry next. And then as you're more comfortable, if you want to do the back carry, you can. But a lot of times your kid will dictate what carry you do. Like sometimes he just wants to be in the front, again, like at bedtime typically. Whereas if we're going for a walk or doing something for adventure, he'll go for, the back carry. So, and I was going to show you those leg passes. You see, he's kind of straightening his legs, but he's not going anywhere because I have those leg passes. So,
and I know that's really good for their hips because they have a really narrow seat. Legs just
yeah. So one of the things when you're wrapping babies, you want to make sure that the wrap goes knee to knee to give them that good support, which is really important when their hips are developing. Now that he's older, it's not as big a deal, but it's still more comfortable for both of us when he's wrapped knee to knee. So
Yeah. So DBG Cash from DBG Baby said, my 7-year-old wants to know what was his first word.
probably daddy. I knew it wasn't mommy. Same.
That's funny. That's funny. I don't want to hold you up all day. This has been amazing. Thank you so much for
Happy this year.
yes. And I'm sure everybody here is going to be hitting you up on your Instagram. So be prepared.
It's free. And there's great groups online. I'm just going to give a little shout out to one of the big resources that I made use of. There's a group on Facebook called Geeky Rappers. It's not necessarily like specific to Black mamas, but it's very inclusive. And that's where I learned pretty much everything I know about rapping. So
say the name of it again.
Geeky Rappers, and I'll put the name in there so that you'll have it. So.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Geeky Rappers is the Facebook group.
Mm-hmm.
You're wearing a geeky.
Yep.
From DBG Baby. That is cool. All right. Well, Dr. Hale, it was a pleasure. And I will talk to you again soon. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this.
Say night night.
See you. Bye.
All right. Thank you guys. It was a pleasure. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye. Now, how do I? And bye, y'all.